Hurricane Nicole weakened to a tropical storm not long after making landfall along Florida's Atlantic coast. More than 200,000 homes and businesses losing power as 120-kilometer-per-hour winds pounded the region. The storm is now heading north. It's going into Georgia and the Carolinas, and the upper half of Florida still remains under tropical storm warnings at this hour. Canada could very well be next. Weather trackers and National Hurricane Center and the Canadian Hurricane Center are tracking the storm as its heavy rain and its winds likely hitting the east coast this weekend. Canadian Hurricane Center does have out a post-tropical cyclone statement for this system, which is expected to drop 100 millimeters or more across parts of Atlantic Canada. And it's still down in Florida right now. And the orange outlines, that's where we find the tropical storm warnings from this storm. Winds are at about 65 kilometers per hour, and it's weakening rapidly because it needs hot water as fuel. If it's not over water, it just starts dissipating. But don't let that fool you, because even though it's heading north towards the Great Lakes, and it will start interacting with this big winter storm here, it still packs a punch in terms especially of that rainfall. Now this cold front that's here, that's going to be sort of a key player here into where Nicole goes, because it's going to want to kind of kick it out and push it off the east coast. But it is still going to be making its way here with some rain and wind. That winter storm, by the way, numerous snowfall warnings and freezing rain warnings happening now across parts of Ontario. So here's the interaction between the cold front and Nicole. It comes up. Cold front pushes it to the east, out into Quebec and eastern U.S. and Atlantic Canada. So what's left in its wake? A lot of cold air, and that means the lake effect snow machine is going to get going. All you need for that is cold enough air, unfrozen Great Lakes, and wind. And the wind direction is going to dictate who gets the snow. If you are on the receiving end of that west-northwest wind, this is where we're talking about the higher amounts of snow. It's the traditional snow belts. A berry likely looking at a few centimeters. Yes, there will be a little bit of shoveling. No, there will not be shoveling in Toronto, as we will likely just be getting some wet flurries. But if you are heading north, it's going to be wet snow for Sunday and Monday. And the type of snow that falls is the heavy wet snow. So Mount Forest and Shelburne, Orangeville, you'll be shoveling some of that heavy wet snow by the time Sunday late day rolls around. All right, tomorrow, here's what I need you to do. Dress for, mild temperatures, 14 degrees. It's not going to be 20, but it's still above seasonal. Saturday, it's about the wind. Sunday, it's about the flurries. And then next week, it's all about morning wind chills, which are on the bottom of that graphic there. -5 to -9 is what it's going to feel like every single morning next week as you're heading back to work and school. We have a fairly dry week ahead of us next week.